welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Shelly, and today I want to do a review on the Easy at Home Ovulation Test Kit pack. And this is just, it comes with 50 LH test strips, which is the ovulation hormone, and they come with 20 pregnancy tests. So let's get into it. So just a little background story. I have a 19-month-old daughter, and I'm now currently trying for baby number 2. And with my daughter, I used the same test kit, and with my second pregnancy, which ended in a miscarriage, I also used this test kit, and now I'm using it again. So I just want to show you how it works. So basically it comes with a guide, and so for the ovulation tests, you want to be tracking if you're trying to conceive, or even if you're avoiding, you want to try and track your cycle. And typically most people on average ovulate around day 14 of your cycle, and day 1 is the day that your period starts. So yeah, but like some people, you just have to know your cycle, I guess. Some people ovulate earlier than others, or every month can be different. Like with my daughter, I ovulated on day 10, which is extremely early, and I have only ovulated on day 10 one time. Normally it's between day 12 and day 15. So yeah, everyone, it can vary, but that's why these tests are so great, because for one, they're very inexpensive. I believe this whole kit was $20. I will correct in the screen, I'll put the exact price, and I'll link it down below. But you get so many tests, 50 tests, and that makes them so cheap for you not to even worry about wasting one. And just every morning take one, starting maybe day 8, and then you'll see when you have your LH surge, and within 24 to 48 hours, or I did read somewhere it could be 12 hours, you will ovulate. So as soon as you get this positive test, and even before you think you're going to get the positive test, if you're trying to conceive, you definitely should get to it. But anyways, so basically what you do, I don't have any pee on me right now because this is a few days later, but put some pee in a cup or just pee over the toilet. And yeah, the test strip just looks like this. And so yeah, basically you just dip it, oh shoot, dropped it. You dip it, or I think dipping it in a cup with your pee is a lot easier, because then you could just hold it until you see it starts to like get a red line of the test going through, and then you can stop and just lay it down. And I believe it's like 5 minutes you wait, maybe it's 3 minutes, let's see. 3 to 5 minutes you wait. So the main two differences between the LH test and the pregnancy test is that the LH test is always going to have a control line and a second line and a test line. And so it's not like a pregnancy test where you see any test line. So basically, to get a positive ovulation test, it needs to be just as dark as the test line. So not a faint medium line. It needs to be like you'll see when the test is going, even though you wait 3 to 5 minutes, you will see that it gets, as it's like darkening, just like the control line was. It gets really dark really fast. And yeah, so basically you take them every day. I guess day 8 is kind of early for some people if you know you're never going to ovulate that early, but I recommend day 8 starting. And yeah, then take it every day, and then you'll be able to narrow it down. and I just want to show you guys what a positive test looks like. So this is starting day 8, and then as you can see on day 13 is when I got the positive test, because I put a star there. It is just as dark as the control line, and then day 14 was pretty dark, but it wasn't as dark, and yeah. And pregnancy test wise, some people get tests very early. These are not like first response or early detection tests, but I will say with both pregnancies that I've already had, this test came positive at the same time as the other test did. So I believe it's just as accurate, and don't waste your money on the first response or the clear blue unless okay, I can't say that because I like to get the clear blue that says pregnant on it just to show my husband or my family. That's worth it. But if you're going to be testing every day, then this kit is just the way to go, because again, you get 20 pregnancy tests in here. And so with my daughter, I found out 11 days past ovulation that I was pregnant, which is early because most people say wait 2 weeks. And with my miscarriage pregnancy, I found out on 10 days past ovulation. So even earlier, I saw the faintest line. And these are really great for just ease of mind, I feel like. Once you do find out that you're pregnant, I kept taking them daily to make sure that the line gets darker. And I will say with my daughter, I'll show you guys, the line progressively got darker and darker, and I just took until I ran out of the kit. With my miscarriage pregnancy, the line was staying the same, and at the time I was getting HCG levels also tested, and they weren't rising at a proper level. So yeah, I was obsessed and kept taking these tests every day, and they eventually did get to the darkest they could get. But yeah, because at some point, it can't get much darker. But in the beginning, I had spotting and bleeding from the beginning, and then also with the tests not getting darker, it was kind of a sign for me that something was off, on top of my actual HCG blood tests was not rising as quickly as a normal pregnancy would either. So again, it's just a cheap way to keep track of things and help. I mean, I guess it doesn't really help ease your mind, but it kind of, I guess, gives you a heads up of how your HCG is progressing, especially if you can't get into the doctor and keep testing your HCG levels. Because with my daughter, that's not if you're not bleeding and you're a normal pregnancy like she was, they take your HCG when I was 4 weeks pregnant, and it was I don't know, 69 or 70, and that was it. I didn't see any doctor until it was the 7-week visit to do the ultrasound. So I wouldn't have known if I didn't have these tests that the line was going to get darker, that the HCG was progressing and rising and doubling like it should. So another great reason to use these tests. Now, I know there's other tests on the market. I just haven't felt the need to try other brands because this brand has just been so accurate and worked well. And yeah, so let me show you what progression of a pregnancy test looks like. And again, not pregnant yet, we'll have to wait for updates on that because it's only 1 day past ovulation. So I will definitely keep you guys updated on that. And let me show you what pregnancy tests look like, progression, and I'll show you my successful pregnancy, and then I'll show you my miscarriage pregnancy. So this was with my daughter, my successful pregnancy, and as you can see, you can't even see how faint it was, but that was the first faint line I saw, and then it just got darker and darker and darker and darker. And then, yeah, it was just maxed out like really quickly. Those were, I just continued over there from my book, but see how dark the line is actually darker than the right side is the control line, and this is the test line, and it was actually taking ink from the control line to make that darker. Now this is from my miscarriage pregnancy. So as you can see, it's very faint, faint, and these are all like, there's a couple in each day, but it just, compared to my daughter, like I was way higher HCG from the very beginning, but, and it did get darker eventually, but like, look at all these days. And I have another page. And yeah, so then I had the miscarriage November 27th, and I kept taking tests to make sure that the tests went negative, and it honestly, it took a bit for the HCG to go away. I want to say after the miscarriage, I believe I got my period. No, I think I got my period, let's see. Hold on. After the miscarriage, I ovulated very quickly, but we did not want to try just yet because we had a wedding that, you know, the due date would end up, it would just conflict. So we had to wait a few months to try again. But yeah, so I miscarried the 27th and I ovulated, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8 days later. I ovulated that quickly after a miscarriage. And yeah, I got my period 2 weeks after the miscarriage. And so then I just continued tracking, and I also use these ovulation strips, like I said, when I'm trying to prevent pregnancy, because again, it narrows it down when you're most fertile and when you need to use protection and be careful. And I use the Natural Cycles app, and I really love how it works. Honestly, I've been using it for a couple years. That's what I've been doing, and my review on these tests is they're worth it. They're worth the 20 bucks. I think they're completely reliable. Like, as you can see, I've gotten pregnant, avoided being pregnant for a year and a half using them. And yeah, they're, I believe, just as accurate as the first response in regards to seeing that faint line. After, like, when you're the first day you find out. I've found out the first day with these tests also, because, you know, the other tests are so expensive that I wanted to take one of these first. And then once I saw a positive on there, then I knew if that was like real, which it is completely real and accurate, then I could risk wasting my money on the digital tests. So yeah, I hope you guys found this video helpful, and I plan on doing more trying to conceive videos in the future. I'm not sure how long it's going to take me to get pregnant, so either it's going to be quick or it's going to take a little bit of time, but I will keep you guys updated, and I'll see you in the next video.